They told us never to repeat what we heard on the school intercom that day. They said it would cause panic. Maybe. Or maybe it would expose what this really was. Because what happened inside East Ridge High didn't feel like a plan. It felt like a presence. Quiet. Patient. Close enough to breathe in your ear. The public got the headline. We got the part the cameras couldn't hold. Quick disclaimer before we begin. This story is told like a real experience. A few details are changed for privacy. But what matters is how it felt, moment by moment, inside a building that stopped feeling human. If intense themes hit too close, take care of yourself. Now, let's go back. If you're into true crime with details that never make the news, and paranormal horror that feels a little too real, make sure you're subscribed. If you enjoy this series, hit like. It tells the algorithm you want more of this storytelling. And when you're done, check the other videos on my channel. Alright, now let's jump in. You've seen the footage, flashing lights outside a school, reporters whispering, like volume could change reality. The public story arrived fast, too fast. One student, one label, one neat explanation. But inside the building, it didn't feel neat. It felt arranged, like something wanted the world to look one direction, while the truth moved in the dark. Before any of this, Evan Rook felt safe, quiet, helpful, reliable. The kid teachers trusted with keys because nothing ever went missing. He helped freshmen. He stayed late to stack chairs. Not loud, not angry, not reckless. So when he changed, we didn't notice right away, because the first step wasn't chaos. It was silence. Every day, at exactly 3:33, Evan stopped by the trophy case. Not for a second, long enough that people walked around him, head tilted, eyes unfocused, listening to the wall. Then he'd inhale sharply and move again, like he just ignored a question only he could hear. And every time, the hallway felt colder, like the building leaned in too. Then the marks appeared, subtle, but wrong. Faint bruise patterns under his skin, like fingerprints pressed from the inside. He hid them with sleeves, stopped looking people in the eye. And when someone asked if he was okay, he answered too fast. Yeah, I'm fine. Like it was a line he'd practiced in a mirror. In study hall, Evan showed me his phone, a list of recordings, each labeled by date and time, each one reading 00, 0 seconds, empty. He tapped one anyway, and under the silence, we heard it, a thin whisper, not words, just breath trying to imitate language. He snatched the phone back like it burned him. I tried to joke, because fear gets heavy when it's quiet. Evan didn't laugh. He leaned in and whispered, "Don't call it creepy." His eyes looked empty, but his voice sounded like it came from behind him. "It likes being noticed," he said, and the lights flickered, like they agreed, like something in the ceiling smiled, without a face. The day everything broke, the hallway went quiet in a way I've never heard again. Not polite quiet, more like sound itself was turned down. Someone dropped a binder, and the thud came out wrong, muffled, distant, like it happened underwater. Then I saw Evan walking, steady, controlled, like he already knew where we'd stand, before we chose it. And then the cameras failed. Not one, not two. Every camera facing that hallway glitched at the same time. Later they blamed technical interference, but I saw the archive. 1 second, Lockers, students, lights. The next, grey static smeared over everything, like ash on a lens. Then normal again, like the truth had been cut out, clean. Afterward, survivors kept repeating the same sentence. That wasn't him. Not Evan snapped. Not Evan chose this. They said it like a fact that stuck in the throat, because the person moving through that building didn't move like a teenager. It moved like something wearing a teenager, calm enough to watch fear spread, like ink. A teacher stepped into the corridor and said his name softly. Evan? He didn't answer, didn't glance over, just kept moving, steady, empty, like the sound of his name didn't belong to him anymore. And the air felt colder the closer he got, like the hallway itself exhaled and forgot warmth. Then the fire doors slammed shut on their own. No alarm, no announcement, just metal snapping into place. Later they called it a mechanical fault, but everyone who worked there knew those doors don't slam like that unless something tells them to. And in that moment, it felt like the school was trying to contain what it had let loose. Too late, but trying. Right after the doors locked, the PA system crackled just once, and the voice that came through wasn't a student and wasn't a teacher. It didn't sound angry. It sounded certain, like it had authority here. 4 words, slow, clear, wrong enough to freeze everyone. Don't say his name. Not a warning, a command. When it finally stopped, it didn't feel like justice. It felt like exhaustion. Evan didn't struggle like a villain. He struggled like someone drowning, like he'd been held under for a long time. His hands shook so hard his teeth clicked, and over he kept saying, "I didn't do this." Not loud, like he was trying to convince himself he still existed. Then Evan's voice dropped so low I almost didn't hear it. He stopped fighting, stared at the floor, and whispered, "It's wearing me." Those words hit harder than any headline, because they didn't sound like an excuse. They sounded like fear, the kind you feel when your own body isn't fully yours. After that, the official machine turned on. Police, lawyers, counselors, administrators, calm voices, clipboards, bottled water. They moved us into beige rooms and asked questions. At first it was normal. Then the questions changed, like they were searching for what to erase. If someone mentioned the cameras glitching, they called it signal interference. If someone mentioned the intercom voice, feedback. If someone described how Evan moved, adrenaline. They weren't investigating what happened. They were sanding the edges off the truth until it fit inside a report. Neat, quiet, harmless. Then came the pressure, real pressure. Not threats, just adults saying, "For your well-being, don't repeat that part." They hinted your name could end up online, your future could get complicated, your family could get dragged into it, and people stopped talking because silence felt safer. Some of us stopped talking for another reason, because whenever we tried to describe the intercom voice, the room felt colder, lights flickered, phones glitched, like the moment you gave it attention, it leaned closer, like the building remembered, and something inside it was listening. Years passed. The story became a neat tragedy with a neat explanation. The building got repainted, locks replaced, new rules, new slogans. But survivors still flinch at intercom static because we remember what they erased. Then last month, someone spoke, not on TV, not officially. A person injured that day, close to Evan, posted a statement anonymously. It wasn't dramatic. It was careful, like they still expected the walls to hear them. The first line said, "I'm tired of carrying this alone." They wrote that a week before everything happened. Evan said something that sounded like a warning. "I'm not alone in my head anymore." They assumed it meant depression, but he didn't say it like sadness. He said it like fear, like someone moved in and started rearranging the furniture. The post ended with a line that made my skin go cold. "I don't think he brought it there. I think the building already had it, and it finally found someone it could wear." That idea sits in your chest like a stone, because it means the danger wasn't one person. It was something that waited, quietly, patiently. A friend in District IT showed me something he wasn't supposed to show anyone. A frozen frame from the hallway archive. Most of the footage was static, missing gaps, missing truth. But this frame survived. And the longer I stared, the more I understood why they wanted silence. Because some things don't like being named, but they love being remembered. Evan was there in the shot, hood up, face blank, but his shadow didn't match him. It leaned the wrong way, and behind it, faint but undeniable, a second shadow, thin, tall, attached to no one, no person standing there, just a shape that didn't need a body, only a place to stand. That's when the intercom command finally made sense. Don't say his name. Not because they feared panic, because names are anchors. Attention is permission. And some things, when you speak them out loud, they notice you back. Maybe the school wasn't protecting students. Maybe it was protecting a secret. So, what do you think happened to Evan? Was it a breakdown everyone misunderstood? Or something that learned how to wear a person, practice their voice, move their body like a tool? Because every survivor agrees on one thing. What walked those hallways didn't feel like a teenager. It felt older. It felt calm. Drop your theory in the comments. If you want more true crime and horror stories told like real experiences, subscribe and turn on notifications. If this story got under your skin, check the other videos on my channel. Thanks for watching. And whatever you do, be careful what you repeat, because some things don't forget being noticed.